Welcome back. If you're new here, get ready, because this is going to be one of the most complete breakdowns you'll find anywhere on this car. By the end of this video, you'll understand this machine inside and out. The exterior design, the interior, the technology it carried in its time, the performance, the driving experience, the practicality, the strengths, the weaknesses, the pricing, the value for money, and how it truly stacks up against its biggest rivals. So if you want the full picture before forming your own opinion, stay with me until the very end, because what we're about to uncover might completely change the way you see this car. For decades, one claim has followed this car everywhere it goes. People call it the greatest British sports car ever built. Collectors whisper about it like it's untouchable. Enthusiasts treat it like gospel. But here's the question nobody seems to ask out loud. Is the 1959 Austin-Healey 3000 actually that good? Or has time simply been kind to its reputation? Today, we're not here to repeat the legend. We're here to test it, piece by piece, claim by claim, until we find out if this car earned its place in history or simply inherited it. Let's start with the first claim, the one about its looks. People say this car is timeless, effortlessly beautiful, a design that never needed updating. So let's put that to the test. Stand in front of it, and you notice the long, sculpted bonnet, the narrow chrome grille, the smooth curves that flow without a single awkward line. There's no clutter here, no unnecessary decoration. Every angle seems intentional. And when you compare it to other cars from the same era, most of them already look dated, boxy, over-designed. This one doesn't. The verdict on this claim holds up. The styling wasn't just good for 1959, it was ahead of its time. And that's rare. Now, the second claim, the one about the cabin. Some say the interior is cramped, uncomfortable, and impractical by nature. So we test it honestly. Slide inside, and yes, space is tight, especially for taller drivers. But here's the twist nobody mentions. That tightness isn't a flaw. It's intentional. The seating position wraps around you. The pedals sit close. The wheel feels like it's part of your arms rather than something you're operating from a distance. It wasn't built for comfort in the way modern cars define comfort. It was built for connection. So the claim is partly true, but the reasoning behind it was wrong. This isn't bad design, it's a different philosophy of design. Next, the claim about technology, or rather, the lack of it. Critics say this car offers nothing. No screens, no assistance, no modern convenience. And that's true because none of that existed in its era. But instead of judging it against today's standards, we tested it against its own time. And the picture changes. Simple analog dials, honest mechanical feedback, controls that respond exactly the way you move them, with nothing artificial standing between you and the machine. There's no software here to protect you from mistakes. There's no safety net either. No assisted braking, no stability control, nothing softening your inputs. That absence of modern protection isn't a weakness by accident, it's simply a product of its time, and it means the driver alone carries full responsibility behind the wheel. Now here comes the claim that really needs testing, the one about performance. People love to say this car is fast, thrilling, an absolute driver's machine. So we take it further, into the real question. Is it fast because of raw numbers, or because of how it makes you feel? On paper, the numbers are respectable for the era, but nothing that would shock anyone today. Yet once you're moving, something changes. The engine doesn't just produce power, it produces sound, vibration, a rhythm you feel through your hands and feet. The claim about speed is technically overstated, but the claim about excitement is completely accurate. This car isn't fast in numbers, it's fast in emotion. And that leads directly into the driving experience itself, where the biggest myth of all needs testing. People say this car is easy to drive, forgiving, simple. That's false, and here's the twist. This car demands respect. The steering requires effort. The brakes need anticipation. The chassis rewards confidence but punishes carelessness. This isn't a car that drives itself. It's a car that teaches you how to drive it properly, one corner at a time. So the myth of easy driving collapses completely, and in its place, something far more interesting emerges. A car that makes you a better driver simply by demanding your full attention. Now to practicality, where the claim is brutally simple. People say this car isn't practical at all. And here the evidence agrees. Limited storage, tight cabin space, and mechanical maintenance that requires patience and skill. Owning this car isn't about convenience, it's about commitment. But that commitment brings its own reward, a relationship with the machine that modern daily cars simply can't replicate. Then there's the claim about price and value, and this is where things get genuinely surprising. Some say cars like this are only for wealthy collectors, out of reach for regular enthusiasts. That claim used to be exaggerated, but today, with rising demand and shrinking supply, it's becoming true faster than people expected. Prices continue climbing, driven by scarcity and nostalgia. So this myth isn't false anymore. It's becoming reality in real time. Finally, the biggest test of all, comparing it to its rivals from the same era. Cars like the Triumph TR3 and early Jaguar sports models were built to compete directly against it. And when placed side by side, something becomes obvious. Those rivals often matched it in speed, sometimes even in price, but none of them matched it in character. That's the difference that turns competitors into footnotes and this car into a legend. So after everything we've tested, the original question finally has its answer. Is this car overrated, or does it deserve every bit of its reputation? The truth is, it's not perfect, it's not practical, and by today's standards, it's not even particularly fast. But it earns its legendary status honestly, not through hype, but through character that still holds up when everything else has been stripped away and tested. If this investigation gave you a deeper understanding of this incredible machine, that's exactly what we set out to do. Let me know what you think in the comments. Share your own thoughts on whether the myths hold up. Hit like if this kind of deep dive is what you want more of, and subscribe so you don't miss the next case we crack together. Until next time, keep chasing the truth behind the legends.